So I'm sort of making this video in response to like the whole Paul thing from Japan, the suicide forest. Not just that, but like a lot of things related all the way back to PewDiePie and his racist comment to just Matthew Santoro and his breakdown and his abusive relationship, blah blah blah, so on and so forth. So I just want to be one thing clear about myself personally. I acknowledge that what Logan Paul, they're confusing, did was stupid, right? But I do not at all think he is a horrible human being. I don't think any of us should. Of course, actions do speak louder than words. What Logan Paul did was beyond stupid. Was being disrespectful at the suicide Japanese forest. However, with that being said, I think in a sense we all do stupid things once in a while. So I acknowledge me and myself personally, that I've made mistakes along the way. So, in a sense, do I feel that what Logan Paul did, can that be redeemed somehow? It all really depends. I was never a fan of the Paul brothers, Jake or Logan. Either of them, I'd never really cared. It seems that most of his fans don't really care what he does, which is kind of disturbing in a way. But when it comes to things like PewDiePie, when he said his racist comment, I don't also at all think he's a bad guy either. It's just, people say and do stupid things. That's just life. People say and do stupid things all the time. I can't recall the last time I said something stupid, though. It's probably been a couple months, maybe a couple years. I don't know. Sometimes I don't catch myself. Sometimes I do stupid things too. We all do. So, can things like PewDiePie and Logan Paul, can those things be redeemed? I think everyone does, in a sense, deserve a second chance, especially if they never actually physically harmed anyone. From what it looks like in the Suicide Forest video, Logan Paul didn't actually physically hurt anybody, but he showed images that people don't want to see or be reminded of. One thing that people are not considering about the whole Suicide Forest thing is that guy that was hanging in the forest was once a human being. A living, breathing human being with a family. Maybe that guy didn't want to be filmed. Maybe he doesn't want his family to see him like that. Maybe. We don't know. We don't know who that guy is. It's just something to consider. So, when it comes to these YouTube dramas, such as, again, with Matthew Santoro, I think I'm saying his name right. He's one of my favorite YouTubers. I like watching his channel. But he did post a video one time explaining his domestic abuse. And the thing is, men, we go through domestic violence too. I went through sort of a domestic abuse thing. I say sort of. You're probably, oh, you said sort of. Well, I mean, it was sort of. Where I had an ex that was verbally abusive more than physically. I'm not going to name who that ex is, out of respect for that person. But yeah, I've gone through that. It was a verbal abuse, and that's all I want to say about it. There's nothing wrong with a guy coming out and saying that he was abused, and people go on social media and make fun of this guy or whatever. Sometimes, especially with these YouTubers, people make mistakes, but with people like YouTubers, their life is on social media. Their life is for the world to see. We all got to consider that, because I guarantee you there's some things that you do in normal day-to-day life that would probably piss off a couple people, even if you're just joking. Even if you're just joking with a friend and you don't actually mean it, somebody would get offended. I've done some things that offended. I'll give you an example. There was a video a couple years ago. It was about, I forgot the name of it. It was a song making fun of North Korea. I forgot what the song was. I remember this one event distinctly, where it wasn't making fun of Asians per se. It was just making fun of North Koreans. However, I thought the video was funny because it was making fun of the North Korean regime. And so I showed it to a friend of mine, who was in college with. I'm not going to name that friend. The friend got immediately offended. Like, immediately. And was kind of pissed off at me. And I apologized, said, okay, sorry. And I got to thinking, what if I had posted that video and, like, showed my reaction to it, and people would have gotten offended too? That's not who I am as a person. I just saw that video, and I just happened to think it was funny. I forgot the name of that video. And no, it wasn't all making fun of Asians, but my friend at the time took it as making fun of Asians. And I'll give you another example. There was a video making fun of a guy. He was, I forgot what the video was called. I'm forgetting what these videos are called. Making fun of a guy. He was holding a gun, and he was shooting the gun. But the guy was screaming because he's never shot a gun before. He kind of screamed like a girl. Okay, to be brutally honest, I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny. Because, well, the video was kind of meant to be funny. It wasn't meant to be serious or anything. So, again, I showed it to another friend of mine. My friend got offended. Not the same friend, a different person. And again, if I had showed my reaction to that video, maybe someone would have gotten offended. I don't know how. I watched that video over and over, and I couldn't figure out why my friend was offended, but he was, so I apologized. So, again, it's just, we all do stupid things. We all make human mistakes. It's just, sometimes we do things and don't realize it could offend other people. I'm not at all defending Jake Paul. I'm not at all defending Logan Paul. I just think he did something and didn't realize he was actually going to offend anybody. I think the only thing that went through his mind was, oh, the worst thing that could possibly happen is my YouTube gets demonetized or something. So, when it comes to things like Matthew Santoro coming out and saying he was abused, that thing's not funny. It's not something to make fun about. When it comes to things like when PewDiePie says something racist by mistake, from what I gathered in that video, it was a mistake. He didn't actually mean to say it. It didn't actually seem like something he normally say, in my opinion, my personal opinion. So, in the end, we all do and say stupid things. The only difference between us and these famous YouTubers is that their life is everywhere on social media. And I guarantee you there's something that you do on a day-to-day basis that will offend somebody whether you know it or not. There's something that you do at least once a year that would piss off an entire race or an entire culture or an entire country, that if you were to show it. I guarantee it. There's something. We all do it. I'm not making an excuse, but we all do it. And that's something we have to consider. Just because you do it by accident or do it without realizing it would offend someone doesn't actually make you a bad person. But what we can do, instead of calling for someone's head, instead of calling for someone's life to be destroyed, is that we hope that person betters themselves. We hope that person will realize their mistake and go, okay, I know to never do this again, and move forward with their life. We can never move forward with our life if we're always blaming people, especially when we're blaming the past. If we're like, oh, you did this, but a long time ago. Like, okay, but I did that a long time ago. So, your point is, I've had this personally happen to me. I did some stupid shit back in high school. I'm 30 now. I did some stupid shit way back in high school. And it's been almost 12 years. About 13 years now. 12, 13, about to be 14 years. Oh, God. It's been a while. Anyways, and people from my high school still remember some of the things I did. Certain people. And I can't believe that, because I've gone through my whole life so far. I've traveled the world. I lived in Hawaii. I lived in China. I lived in Los Angeles. And I've joined the army. I went to college. I did all these things with my life. And there are still people talking about some of the things I did back in high school. And I guarantee you there's someone doing the same thing to you. And it's weird because I haven't been in high school in over a decade. And most of, like 99% of these people I have never seen. Because I guarantee you that when you leave high school, 99% of the people you used to talk to, you're not going to talk to anymore. It's life. It just happens. It sounds depressing, but it's really not. You make other friends. Friends come and go. That's just life. But I'm just baffled by it because I remember being in a store. I went to my hometown to see my family. And I went to a store to go shopping. And while I was in my hometown, I saw this guy. This guy I had a scuffle with back in high school. I'm not going to say what the scuffle was about. But this guy, almost the same age as me. This was like 2 years ago. I remember, I was maybe like 28, 29, something like that. This guy still remembers our fight from high school, from freshman year. And he's still pissed off about it. He sees me, and I go, hey, how's it doing? I try to be the adult, say, hey, how's it doing? How's it going? Are you okay? He doesn't say anything to me. He gives me one look and looks away. I'm like, okay, I was just... sometimes you gotta be the adult and, like, just try to get things to move forward. This guy didn't want to move forward. Okay, whatever. That's how you are. We don't have to be friends. Goodbye. I was never going to see him again anyways, because I don't live in that hometown anymore. So, I did something to piss off that guy. He did something to piss off me. The only difference between us two is that I got over it. I moved on with my life. But this guy didn't. And there are other people just like that. I guarantee you. There's always going to be someone that you piss off, and it's never going to forget it. The only thing you can do is move forward. And that is the exact same thing with these YouTubers and with these YouTube dramas. When people do, like celebrities, when they make mistakes. Either you forgive someone for making a mistake and move forward, or you just cling on to that. And I promise you, when you cling on to someone's mistake for a long time, it does nothing. It does nothing but bring you hate, maybe sadness. It does nothing. You can be mad at someone. You can be so pissed off. You don't have to like someone. You don't have to like anybody. That's not what I'm saying here. I'm saying you also don't have to cling on to something. If someone does something to piss you off, okay, whatever. I don't like you. We don't have to be enemies, but we don't have to talk. We don't have to socialize. There has to be some sort of mutual respect. If we can't go forward, we never will accomplish anything. All the stuff that I went through, like in high school, all the way to the army, college, I had different bad relationship breakups, whatever. All the stuff I went through, I eventually got over it and moved forward with my life. That's all you can do. You can't cling on to something forever. So when it comes to people like PewDiePie, when he says something stupid, okay, he says something stupid. He apologized. Either you accept that apology or don't, and you move on. If you don't accept the apology, well, you can always watch other YouTubers. The same thing with Logan Paul. The same thing, I guess, with Matthew Santoro. If you're somehow offended by a guy coming out and saying, I was abused and was really upset about it, if that somehow offends you, then just don't watch his channel. I think that what he did was a good thing. It shows character, and it shows that he's a person who has trouble. That's it. That's all it shows me. That doesn't make him any less of a person to me. I still like his channel. That goes with other YouTubers. People just in general, and I'm just naming these YouTubers because they happen to be the ones that come off the top of my head. I'm just naming these YouTubers because they're human. People make mistakes. So Logan Paul, I've never been a fan of Logan Paul. But I'm not gonna hang on to this suicide force thing forever because I have a life. It pissed me off for one day. I'm probably not even gonna remember it tomorrow, the next week. I'll probably see a video or article about it that reminds me of it. And that's the problem with social media. We're always reminded of these things. Okay, Logan Paul made a mistake. Can we do something else? Or okay, PewDiePie made a mistake. Okay, cool. Can we do something else? So, we can't hold on to these things forever. It's just going to happen. People are going to make mistakes online regardless if they're human. So anyways, guys, that's all I have to say. You can agree with me, disagree with me. I don't care. This is Matthew Scooby. I gotta go for now. I have other things to do. I actually have to go to work soon, my real job, other than YouTube. So guys, I would go for now. Peace out.